It's Week 10 of the 2022 season, and we'll see Miles Sanders. He really helped drive them a week ago with a 3-touchdown game. It's the Eagles and the Commanders under the lights on Monday night.
The city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the ladder when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. Tonight we polish off Week 10 with a good Monday night matchup between the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. We're in November now, so this is where you really need to settle in, start getting down to business.
And in baseball, they talk about the dog days of August. November, these are the dog days of football, trying to get in position for the big push.
Meanwhile, for visiting Washington, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. They'll be brought out by a player who was undrafted back in 2015 out of Old Dominion. Last season, his first as a starter. It's Taylor Heineke.
Let's face it, you don't see too many Old Dominion alums suiting up under center in the NFL. And in fact, Taylor Heineke, the first ODU quarterback to suit up for a regular season game, not to mention doing well in the playoffs. This guy's an absolute fighter. For every chance he's had in this league, attitude, determination, those carry over to his teammates very well.
The numbers for Thomas from last week's effort. 7 catches, 80 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. So just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Throwing, Heineke. And he finds McLaurin. And he's going to have a Commander's first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. A give up the middle to Gibson. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Heineke to throw it. Looking sideline, and he's going to have his man as he was able to walk the tightrope there for the completion. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 36. Heineke. He gets it to Thomas. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Heineke. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Now, for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback now in his 3rd season, Jalen Hurts.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. Throwing is Hurts. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Montez Sweat able to record his 5th sack of the season. The Eagles send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Gibson taken down at the 47-yard line. These two teams had met earlier in the season in Philly with the Eagles winning that ball game. So they're trying to win here in Philadelphia to capture the season series. Heineke throw complete there to Thomas. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. Heineke now. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to get the football back at their own 17.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
Hurts fumbles it. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown on the scoop and score.
Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
This will be fielded inside the 5.
Oh, good-looking return set up here.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 37. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week. It takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number.
Hurts finding Goddard there. First down, Philadelphia. Here's Hurts to throw. On the slant, he's got Sanders. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down.
Hurts.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And they'll work this down inside the 30. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a third down coming up.
Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Touchdown!
W10 Smith.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Eagles are an extra point away from evening this one up. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it was finished off by a touchdown from W10 Smith.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And he's going to have a Commander's first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. Looking to throw. Heineke. Looking for Dotson, and he's got him.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Gibson again.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
To throw is Heineke.
Flushed out, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Well, Fletcher Cox, he's been doing this for a lot of years, and another sack to his ledger there.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. This is Smith with a grab. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That's good for 28 yards. On first and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Hurts sets up to throw it. It's caught by Sanders. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run with Sanders. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Once again with Sanders. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
And Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Eagles have taken the lead. The call from Nick Sirianni. Let's go for 2 here, he says. Hurts will throw. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion. This one's caught. And it stretches their lead up to 8. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Well, Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Well, that flag puts them on their heels a little bit more defensively as the officials walk it upfield.
Yeah, and they can blame the officials all they want, but bottom line, it's their own fault because, to me, that was an avoidable call. Stay focused and avoid major mistakes like that.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Heineke on first down.
Dancing, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing on 2nd and long.
Heineke out route looking for McLaurin. He's got him.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Heineke. He'll go underneath with this one to McKissick. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
Nothing at all on that one. It'll be second down.
Again, it's Heineke.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 18.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout
as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one.
Sly able to put this one through.
And the lead slims to 5 now at 15-10.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this.
Going deep here for Watkins. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We begin with something never said before in NFL history. Let's start out in Germany. That's right, Munich, the site for the early tilt between Seattle and Tampa Bay, where it was the host Buccaneers who were able to come away with that victory. Tom Brady, over 400 yards passing with 3 touchdown passes as well. From there, let's head west to see what's going on with the Raiders at home in Las Vegas. And they fall in that one to the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Matt Ryan leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And it was the visiting Atlanta Falcons who come in and get the victory. Marcus Mariota leading the way there as the win gets his guys back to 500 on the year. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Washington. And despite the fact that they're down on the scoreboard, they were able to have some success throwing the football in that opening half. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they weren't quite as successful throwing the ball as their counterparts were, but they still were able to move the ball reasonably well in that first half.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
So here are the Eagles to take over. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Another run with Sanders. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down.
They go play action with Hurts. Looking for A.J. Brown again, and he's got it again.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Hurts a handoff to Sanders, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Pass over the middle tipped, but he still brings it in. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a third down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Hurts. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. Take it in at the 3. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. First chance for the Commanders' offense now as they head out for their opening series of the second half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
And the play fake, and now Heineke. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Heineke's thrown into the hands of McLaurin. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 34-yard line. Heineke again. He'll get this into the hands of Antonio Gibson. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, 34 yards. And the Commanders are back within a couple of the lead. They'll try and throw for it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
A third quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe first or second, you don't. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to, I don't like to chase a lot of points, but I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Jonathan Allen. Busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders in the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And a pretty good burst there as they get this across midfield and down to the 46. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Right there.
They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Third quarter of a 2-point game. A good one so far. Here's 2nd and 10. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 20-yard line.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. They go back to the ground with Sanders. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead.
So a heck of a drive right there with the game potentially hanging in the balance.
A very good drive, and now conversion to make it a 2-score game and a solid lead.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They'll look to throw, and he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. So they try to make it a 2-score game with a conversion. It pays off.
And they've looked at the situation, figured it out well. A 2-score game in this situation, they've got to feel much better about where they are.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Washington ready to try again on offense. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Avonte Maddox. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick-6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Elliott on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
And the Washington offense heading out. And that last pick-6 may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the 4th quarter. They need points quickly.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Heineke's throw complete to Dotson.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Heineke now looking to throw on 1st down. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Holding offense.
So So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Throwing again on second down.
Heineke. Throw right side complete to Dotson. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. He gets it to Thomas. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Heineke now.
He sets to fire deep. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel, 30 yards.
And the Commanders have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And the lead is trimmed down to 10. That time a 6-play drive.
And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
And out now come the Eagles. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders.
And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Bird's dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
Now that's a killer, because you think you get it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a first down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
You're exactly right. Looked like a for-sure stop on third, and then the tables turn. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They'll throw over the middle, take it in.
They'll get it inside the 20.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Eagles add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Well, this has been another impressive display by this undefeated team, Charles, and it looks like they're going to stay that way after this one.
Yeah, one of the league's best offenses. They stayed on brand in this contest because they continue to look good at what they do. Just added a late touchdown. Now they're really hammering home just how good they've been all year long, letting the rest of the league take notice.
Burt sets up to throw it.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The 3rd time wasn't a charm. They got the first 2 two-point tries. Still have the lead, but couldn't get the 3rd.
Okay, so they didn't get this one, but I have to ask you, What matchup are they seeing that they feel that confident to go for two so often?
Yeah, we talk about this a lot, but it has to be something, you're right, that they saw all week, correct?
Definitely game plan for it. Felt good about being aggressive and going for it. And right up until that one, they had gotten 2 for 2.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Clock running as Washington will try and hurry up.
And Thomas has it. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for 7 there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Here's Heineke.
And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Darius Slay with a pick.
Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over 1 minute to go in the game.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This to make it a 3-score game late. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they're able to come away with the interception, Charles. They aren't able to move the ball all that much. However, they do get 3 out of it with a field goal.
Yeah, and anytime you do force a turnover, you have to come out of it with points. Everybody wants 6. They'll take the 3 there. Now it's their opportunity to do it again.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.